You're listening to the Cars of Carlisle Network, podcast episode number 138, featuring the Holiday Wrap-Up 2020 edition. This is your podcast. Together, it's all about car community, car culture.
Cars of Carlisle is your favorite internationally downloaded podcast about all things automotive. Darren and his CFC team are ever searching for interesting automotive happenings, real stories about real car people, and fun features to inform and entertain you. Each week, the Cars of Carlisle crew brings you show topics ranging from car shows to team adventures to auto racing weekends to behind-the-scenes human interest stories from car nuts that live across town, across the country, or even across the globe. Come join the road trip.
Here at Cars of Carlisle is out with the old and in with the new. For this holiday season, we're wrapping up 2020 by revisiting the wealth of friends and partnerships brought our way during this historic year. And later, let's unwrap the new year of 2021 with a fun forecast for the next 12 months. This is our way of saying Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year to our CFC family. So, let's get revved up.
Hello and welcome back, Cubers, to your favorite informative automotive podcast. I am your trusted host, Darren, and as always, it is great to have you back with us again this week. It is Christmas time, holiday time, almost New Year's, and Miss J is in Studio A. Welcome, Miss J.
Hi, welcome.
What a year it's been.
What a year it's been.
I think we're all sitting here scratching our heads and thinking, what happened? I mean, can we just be done with this year and move on?
Well, we're headed that way.
We really are.
That's the real Christmas gift this year.
I think so. Just send this one down the line, put it in the rearview mirror, let's get out. No, what a time it's been, and I'm hoping that everybody that's listening that you have been safe, healthy, and well, and those that in your circles and those you love and care about are equally healthy. And I know in our Thanksgiving special we talked a lot about what we're grateful for and a lot of that well-wishing of health and good tidings, but want everyone to be safe through this whole situation. But I can't believe Christmas is this Friday.
I can't believe it either. I am so excited for Christmas.
Well, we've all been waiting. What did you want for Christmas? I should have asked you that, Miss J.
Oh, well, for Christmas, I just want to be able to get out of the house.
I know. I
just want to be free.
You're not a homebody.
No, I'm not. I just want to go and do my own thing and not have to worry about the pandemic. But if the only thing I want for Christmas, I want everyone to wear a mask in a public place. Yes. I would be happy with that.
Okay. That's fair. I'm sure Santa can look into that for you.
What about you? What do you want for Christmas?
Well, it would be great if Santa brought us some 5 stars on iTunes and put that in the stockings. Possibly some positive reviews, sharing us with all social media platforms and putting the word out there about Cars of Carlisle. Wanting folks to, if they like us, to share us with friends, family, colleagues, clients, car club buddies, whatever it is, but put the word out there. The more listeners, the more followers, the bigger we become, the more we can grow and do more things, generate much more content. And as you know, Miss J, everything we do, we focus each and every week about how do we outdo ourselves, how can we do better, how can we improve things. Mm-hmm. We keep track of how our metrics are, and we just want to make this podcast more exciting and enjoyable to listen to and to be a part of this community. And for us, this is your podcast. We simply are behind the wheel and we want to do the best job possible for everybody.
Absolutely. Well, it's car community, car culture, and that's a very easy gift. A gift of, giving 5 stars, maybe, allowing people to, let them know how much they appreciate you. Mm-hmm. It's just such a small thing, but such a big thing to us.
Well,
right?
And thank you for the folks that go out to PayPal and all that helps offset, licensing and all the other operational costs. But we do our very best to bring you fun, informative content. And I want to say a big thanks to you for you reading each week with the script and all the preparation you help with on that. To all the folks that have contributed, to Bill Strangry as far as his support there. to Sam Faringer, to Lou Giannakopoulos, to Scott Fickus. Those guys continue week after week after week, give so much, and I really appreciate the crew. And my heart goes out to folks like Jeff Bleemeister at the AACA Museum, where due to the situation in Pennsylvania right now, non-essential businesses have had to really reclose their doors and some other things. So the AACA Museum is having to kind of hold their breath until January 4th and some other things. So we encourage everybody to support any way they can. To our friends at Carlisle Events, they had quite the challenging year as well with hosting all of their shows, and I think they did a great job this year. I know you went to some of the events with me, to Chevy Nationals, Chrysler Nationals, Ford Nationals, Import Performance, Corvettes at Carlisle. You came, and so you were there. I mean, any reflections that you had?
Well, I enjoyed attending some of the shows this past year, the Corvette show, some of the other ones as well. They did a great job with social distancing. For the most part, people were very compliant. It was, there were a lot of events to go to, things to see, good food. So it was a neat experience. They did a good job with what they could do, and I think it was very successful.
Yes, they really did, and they set the tone for some other businesses throughout the Commonwealth as well. So that was very, very positive. Yeah. So kudos to them.
Well, didn't Mike Garland at Carlisle Events virtually introduce you to some people earlier this year?
Yeah, actually, I want to thank Mike. He did do just that, especially during the beginning of the pandemic. He put me in contact with some folks that have been at Carlisle Events and come to the shows and some things. Candy Clark of American Graffiti fame. We featured her in episode 108 back on the 27th of May. Alexandra Paul, she's known for her role in the movie Christine, and she was on Baywatch and some things, but she's very much about EV, electric vehicles, and I had some fascinating discussion with her back in May, around the 12th, I guess it was, and that was episode 106. So, yeah, that was really appreciated on that. We got in touch with some other folks we did end up doing a virtual car show ourselves with a couple other businesses here locally. You remember, of course, Courage. You were part of that.
Courage Car Show.
Which was that acronym, again, Car Owners United Rallying Against Global Epidemics. And as a virtual car show, we met some amazing people. And from that came some episodes, one of which was episode 129 back in October. That was with John Wilmot and James Thompson. They're a couple guys in the San Diego area that do great things with customizing vehicles. John DeAgostino, he was actually a member of the Courage event. He was our celebrity guest judge, and he is known for Celebrity Customs. And episode 116 was focusing around him back in the third week of July.
Yeah, I remember that.
We also talked to some folks that were in the whole scene, but not maybe part of those of Courage or anything else. But Jeremy Birnbaum and David Zeisblatt from Classic, CLASIQ.com. We just had them at the beginning of this month, 8th of December, for episode 136, and they're doing a lot of great things. So we're all trying to manage what we can virtually.
Yeah, all of those guests were from California, right?
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
Nice job on finding the common denominator there. Yeah, a little California love, right?
Like you had a lot of guests from California this year.
It's the West Coast year, I guess.
Yeah.
How about that? You're right. It's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
Well, I know we were out in L.A.
Yeah, that's something
end of July,
memorable.
early August.
Yeah, mid-year, we took a journey out to the Pacific Coast Highway, and we traveled up and down. It was so much fun. It was right before the entire state of California burned to the ground. But we
not
did
good.
it.
Yeah, not good at all.
Yeah, but it was a lot of fun. So
yeah, well, we're hoping to get back to visit our friends in the West Side, if you will.
So we both love seeing the world. So maybe we can plan some really fun trips coming up. Hopefully, with the vaccine coming out and people becoming more well, the whole earth becoming well, maybe we can get back to traveling again. I mean, there are some places I really want to see. I've been wanting to go. down under. I want to go to New Zealand. I want to go to Australia.
Yes. Yeah, it's going to be worth the long flight for that. But
absolutely.
I would love to come along.
That reminds me, didn't you have a really neat host?
Yes.
From Australia this year.
Yeah, one of the really memorable guests, internationally speaking, you're right, was Fletch, or Mark Fletcher.
Fletcher, yeah.
And he is an Australian television host. And he does classic restos. And that was actually episode 105 back in the first week of May. And what a cool guy. Just he's so just chill. I mean, really instant friendship. I know that you were on the call and just really fun.
Oh, really fun. It seems like he too was a traveler, and he got to travel a lot for his show. And so it was kind of a neat thing to have him on the show.
It really was.
The Cars of Carlisle show. Yeah.
Well, and I know that we were just reading about New Zealand with how well they handled the whole pandemic. Just very, very few cases and a couple dozen fatalities. So they did really well. But no, I would love to have Fletch back, and once the borders open up, I think he's talking about trying to get back to stateside. So we'll get to meet him in person.
That would be amazing. But speaking of international travel, we enjoy international travel. Can't wait to get back to it, but we cannot lose sight of all of the amazing people we have right here in this area of Pennsylvania.
Amen to that. In fact, we have a great group of folks all around us here, and we just mentioned, of course, our friends at the AACA Museum, at Carlisle Events. Definitely want to remember folks like my LS engine expert, BJ Becker of Becker's Garage in Shippensburg. He was episode 104 this year. America on Wheels in Allentown. Remember, that was a cold day in February that we did that one?
Yeah,
back in episode 93. Our great friend, speaking of Allentown, right across the street, we have RB Collections.
The Rosie brothers.
Oh, Alex and Al, you guys are awesome. Yeah, the Rosie brothers are just so much fun. We talked with them back in episode 99. But yeah, just the folks all over the central part or throughout the eastern part of the state. We were in Pittsburgh. I mean, just everywhere throughout, like you said, Pennsylvania, the Mid-Atlantic, the Washington, D.C. area, Maryland area. The fact that, like we talked about Bill Sangri and our friends at the AACA Museum, like Jeff Bleemeister, thank you so much to just this great group of people that have always opened their doors and welcomed us. So we're very... truly appreciative.
Yeah, we have just a plethora of good people all around right here in Pennsylvania and around us. So when we have our friends, we have our families, ones we love, that makes the year a blessing. So it's been a blessing of a year, even though 2020 has been, it's been a ride, but when you have friends and family, you can do anything.
And the family truckster, that's what it feels like. Yeah. Well, we've had some good mile markers along the way. You and Scott and others were helpful with pulling together our 100th episode, which we were proud of that.
Oh, that was a milestone. That was back in March.
Sounds right. Yeah, it was the very end of March.
That was a great opportunity for us to celebrate Cars of Carlisle and just having 100 episodes. And that was
a celebration of our guests and our listeners, because not all podcasts will make it, triple digits or 100 episodes. And to all of you listeners, you keep coming back week after week. Thank you, each and everybody that's hearing this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are what motivate and keep this going. So we are so glad to have you as our audience and our dedicated group of followers, fans, friends.
Absolutely. And what about, I guess you want to talk about partnerships and successes that you've had this year.
Well, yeah, it's not anything to gloat in, but just we talked about what a great team we have.
Well, speaking of your team, you cannot, you have to mention Sam and Lou.
Of course, yeah. With the guys, our young guns of the team, with all the episodes that they've put together, they did right around the time of Ford versus Ferrari when it came out and hit the theaters. Back in, just about a year, it was mid-January. Mm-hmm. They did a tribute to Phil Remington. They did the Bullet Mustang episode. They did the De Tomasa Pantera. They talked about their own personal rides, which is kind of fun. They did the history of Porsche, as well as the history just recently of Hummer. That was just 15th of December.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very
Very
recently of episode 137.
Yeah.
But those guys put so much into their shows, each about an hour long, and we intentionally let them have carte blanche with just deep dives into the history and the details, and they really pull it apart. So great job to them. And a big thank you to Scott for the editing and all the behind the scenes work that he does to the websites and the social media side of things, some of the post-production and all of that. Certainly couldn't and wouldn't want to do it without his help. Well, you're right. We also have met some great people at the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Remember how you just said that you noticed there was a theme of a lot of California?
Right.
There's been a lot of Porsche.
There's been a lot of Porsche.
There's been a lot of Stuttgart, Germany, too.
Yes. Straight from the beginning of the
Yes.
year, it seemed, with the Trubin.
Yes. We were down in Northern Virginia, in Winchester area. We talked to John Trubin of Trubin Motor Company, and he has a Porsche GT2 in his showroom, and just some great vehicles. But he focuses a lot on Porsche, which then led to a partnership sponsorship situation that we have with Porsche Mechanicsburg.
Absolutely.
And we very, very much appreciate Nick Ramagosa and everyone at the Porsche Mechanicsburg dealership. And they just finished building the Porsche Center, which is an incredible facility. You hear me talk about it each and every week. And if you are anywhere near the Carlisle, Mechanicsburg area, please check them out. In fact, they have put so much into that facility. When you're there, you feel like, you're witnessing just the top-notch innovation and expertise. Their mechanics, they are known for being essentially like PhD holders of Porsche technology, and they have to be able to work on vehicles of everything in the array, from the Porsche 718, the new generation of the Porsche 911, which is now known as the 992. But then they have to have competence in working on something like the Porsche Taycan, which is the all-electric Porsche. So they're going from a combustion engine to, of course, the batteries and everything along those lines. So there's quite a bit with that. So if you have any interest in a Porsche or Porsche ownership, and whether it be pre-owned or ordering it from the factory, definitely talk to the folks at Porsche Mechanicsburg. Nick, as the general manager, leads a great team of professionals, and they will absolutely see to it that everyone they can find that perfect car for them. But no, I really do appreciate that, and I'd also like to say that we have been in the works, and you know about this, that we're talking to some others as far as additional type of sponsorship items and ways to promote, and we are looking to offer to you, the listeners, an exciting kind of sweepstakes type thing.
Ooh,
coming
tell
up this
us more.
year. Yeah, I've been working a lot behind the scenes on this.
All right.
And you remember us talking back in episode 131 about the Extreme Experience.
Oh yes,
you can find them.
Experience.
Yeah, you can find them at the Extreme, no E, so it's XTREME Experience, no E, XPERINCE.com. But that's when I drove that Lamborghini Huracan in the rain. But we've been talking to them about how we can partner in some things, and what I'm hoping to make available to everybody is basically we'll come up with some form of sweepstakes, and then a couple times during the year we will give away a free Drive a Supercar experience to our listeners.
Oh wow!
So this is this is kind of this is a pretty cool thing in the sense that it's would be it's not a cheap thing to do, and this will give you a chance to drive 3 laps on a regional track. And it can be vehicles of all types. They have the Porsche GT3. They have the Lamborghini Huracan. So there are some amazing vehicles, truly supercars, Ferrari, and we're excited to be able to provide to you listeners the opportunity to be given a chance to drive one of these vehicles. And they have regional tracks all over the U.S. So no matter where you are, whether in the Northwest, you are in the South Central states, if you are in the Mid-Atlantic, you are in the Southeast, there will be a track near you, and stay tuned. This is gonna be a great opportunity. We're able to give more to you guys.
Absolutely, it sounds like a lot of people will be able to participate, perhaps get an extreme experience.
That's what it's about.
Wow! So 2021.
Yeah,
sounding good.
Yeah, and one thing that I've been working on in negotiations too is not only would you get a chance to drive some of these cars in their lineup, like we talked about the Ferrari 488 GTB, the Lamborghini Huracan, the McLaren 570S, Porsche 911 GT3, Nissan GTR, and they have the new Stingray, the new Corvette, the 2020 Z51, Ford Mustang Shelby GT500, and the cars depend on what tracks and where you are, where they bring them to. That you, the listener, would actually receive as the sweepstakes is you not only get behind the wheel to drive one of the aforementioned cars, but you get a ride along with one of the professional drivers. Ooh. So you're going to be max speed around the track as a participant or as a passenger, so you can learn the track, learn the turn in, learn all the apexes, where all the turn in, the track out points are. And then you can get in the car of your choice and then drive from that point forward. So I should say the car you get to do the ride-along in is not too shabby. It's actually a Dodge Challenger Hellcat Y-body. So it's going to get up and move just fine. Yeah. Ooh. So I'm giving a big preview of what's coming ahead for the new year. But as you know, been putting some late nights and some long hours into trying to make this really exciting for everyone. And we're excited about that.
Absolutely. So we're wrapping up 2020. We're putting a big red bow on it, and we're putting it away. So it's out with the old and in with the new. Darren, as CEO and host, what do you have planned for our CFC friends out there in listenership land?
Well, I would say that I am really trying to with the team, make this as exciting as possible and bringing you the very best in content every single week. We want to continue to hear from you. It means the world when we receive emails from the followers, the friends, the family, the fans about what we can do better, what we should do more of. We listen to that. We talk about it. We apply it. And we reflect on that very much. So please continue with that. So we listen. We hear you. But you've heard about some of the things we're working on. We want to have additional affiliations, strategic alliances, partnerships. We want to, of course, make sure that everyone feels a part of this larger community. Whether the pandemic subsides in the next 90 days or if it's another year, God forbid, we're trying to do things more virtually and adapt and keep you all at the forefront of everything we do. I know that members of the crew and I will probably get to some local tracks, regional tracks. I'm hoping we get down to Virginia International Raceway, VIR. We're probably going to go back over to the New Jersey Motorsports Park in Millville, New Jersey. We'll trying to spend some time there. If all goes well, and again, this is not a big money-making situation, but if we can all make things work with both personal and business travel and things, we're hoping to do some interviews, meet new people, see new sites, whether it's across town, across the country, like we want to get to San Diego. And maybe if things settle with the pandemic, we might even be doing from across the pond.
Yes.
So if we can get over to Europe or what have you, we will be talking to you from live from there, and we'll have some great recorded interviews and things to share with you. So my point is that we're trying to outdo ourselves. 2018 we started. We were just getting out of the gates. 2019 we got a little bit better. All things considered, 2020 we're trying to do what we can, and 21 we want it to be our very, very best year ever. So I think with the help and the support and all of that from each of you, we're going to continue to grow. We're excited about that. So thank you so much for being here. Well, Miss J, I really loved having you in this studio on a cold December night, so thank you for that. Appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. Been a wonderful 2020. We're welcoming in the new year. Happy holidays to you, by the way.
Well, happy holidays to you, for sure. And everyone listening, no matter what you celebrate, how you celebrate it, with whom you celebrate, we wish you the very best. And our heartfelt thanks and warm regards to everybody. We're so glad you're part of this car community, and you make it what it is. So thank you so much. For now, we will wish you happy holidays and simply say, drive well, be well, take care.